Don't let chronic anger affect your brain. Close your eyes and think about the last time you were truly angry. Maybe it was when someone cut in line, when a close friend let you down, or when things just didn't go the way you expected. That burning sensation in your chest, your pounding heartbeat, and the racing thoughts, all of it is a natural reaction. In moderation, anger is a survival signal. It helps us recognize that something isn't right. But when that flame never goes out, when anger becomes a habit woven into your daily reactions, it stops being just an emotion and turns into a chronic psychological state, chronic anger, and the scary part is, it doesn't just drain your mental energy. It can actually reshape your brain, disrupt your nervous system, impair your memory, and even make you addicted to the feeling itself. Number 1. How anger works in the brain. When you get angry, the amygdala, the brain's emotional alarm center, lights up like a fire alarm. It triggers the body's fight or flight response, releasing a surge of stress hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline. If the anger passes quickly, your body soon returns to balance. But if this happens day after day, your brain begins to adapt to constant alert mode, as if you're always running from an invisible bear. Over time, the prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for logic, judgment, and emotional control, becomes weakened. When reason loses strength, instinct takes over. That's why people who are chronically angry often find it hard to calm down, think clearly, or resist impulsive reactions, even over small things. In addition, high testosterone levels can reduce the brain's ability to regulate emotions, causing anger to flare up more intensely and last longer. This creates a dangerous loop where hormones, emotions, and behavior continuously feed into one another. Number 2. When anger erodes memory and thinking, chronic stress causes the body to continuously produce cortisol, a hormone that can damage the hippocampus, the region of the brain responsible for memory and learning. A 2016 study published in Biological Psychiatry found that people with high cortisol levels due to frequent anger tend to lose focus, have poorer memory, and struggle to process information effectively. Chronic anger makes your brain function like an overheated computer, constantly running on emotional overload. As a result, you become more forgetful, less able to learn, and mentally exhausted, as if everything around you tests your patience. This creates a vicious cycle. The more angry you are, the weaker your memory becomes, and the weaker your memory, the more frustrated and irritable you feel, fueling even more anger. Number 3. How anger can become addictive. Interestingly, anger can actually feel satisfying. Every time you get angry, your brain releases dopamine, a chemical linked to pleasure and reward, similar to what you feel when eating something delicious or winning a game. That small burst of dopamine makes some people unconsciously seek out conflict, picking fights, overreacting, or finding fault with others. Deep down, their brain has learned the pattern: anger equals intensity equals satisfaction. Over time, this creates an emotional feedback loop: anger, dopamine, pleasure, searching for new reasons to get angry, more addiction. This is why many people know they shouldn't get angry, yet can't stop, because their brain has learned to enjoy the rush of anger like a familiar drug. Number 4. When anger destroys the body, chronic anger isn't just a psychological issue, it's a biological burden. When your nervous system stays on high alert, your heart beats faster, blood vessels constrict, blood pressure rises, and your body remains in a constant state of fight or flight. According to the American Heart Association, people who are frequently angry face a higher risk of heart disease, stroke, and weakened immunity. Long-lasting negative emotions can also lead to anxiety, depression, and emotional burnout. In essence, chronic anger turns the body into a machine running at full power without rest. It's not just rage, it's a deep, invisible fatigue of the nervous system. A form of constant tension that many people no longer even notice. Number 5. Short-term strategies. Learning how to step out of anger. The good news is that the brain has neuroplasticity. It can learn new ways to respond. When anger rises, breathe slowly and deeply, because your breath is the switch that shifts your nervous system from fight or flight to rest and recover. Next, pause for a few seconds. Just a brief moment can give your rational brain a chance to step in before you react. You can also choose a mental anchor, a word, an image, or a phrase that helps you stay calm. For example, Say to yourself peace, or visualize a quiet place where you feel safe. If calming down still feels hard, use physical sensations to reset your body. Wash your hands with cold water, press your feet firmly into the ground, or gently clench and release your fists. These small actions stimulate the vagus nerve, sending a signal of safety to your brain, and when the energy of anger is still there, channel it into something useful. Go for a run, exercise, write, paint, clean, or create. Anger itself is energy, what matters is where you direct it. Number 6. Long-term strategies, understanding and healing at the root. To truly break free from chronic anger, you need to look inward. Anger is rarely the core emotion. It often hides deeper feelings, pain, shame, fear, or helplessness. Many people learn to be angry instead of vulnerable during childhood, when expressing emotions wasn't safe, and anger became the only acceptable armor. Start by noticing the early warning signs. Your heartbeat quickens, fists tighten, stomach knots, or breathing becomes shallow. These are your body's way of whispering, anger is coming. Then, identify your triggers, the people, situations, or times of day that make you most irritable. Once you recognize what sparks your anger, you can begin to change your response or consciously avoid those triggers. Finally, if anger has begun to damage your relationships or your health, don't hesitate to seek professional support. Therapy isn't about eliminating emotions, but about retraining your mind to understand, process, and regulate them, so anger no longer controls you, but becomes something you can listen to, learn from, and transform. Conclusion: anger is not the enemy. It's a signal for help from within. It only becomes dangerous when we let it control us for too long, until it turns into a habit. By understanding how the brain works, recognizing your emotions, and practicing small, consistent steps, you can regain control, not by suppressing anger, but by transforming it. Remember, you weren't born to live in an emotional storm, but to learn how to guide the weather within you. When you can find calm in the midst of anger, you're not only protecting your mind and body, you're also opening the path toward true freedom and inner peace.